This is why we can't have nice things.
Well, this is D-Mac's fault. I mean, this is hilarious.
The second time he's done this to us.
This is actually amazing that this is happening again. First of all, I love this from D-Mac, okay? D-Mac comes on our show when I'm in the middle of an Evander Kane rant, which is fine. D-Mac comes on, but we're like getting into Evander Kane. Oh, here comes D-Mac. D-Mac just comes onto this show and crop dusts us. That's what he does. He just farts and leaves. And he's just like, peace. See ya. And then he pulls the plug. He just pulls the power outlet. And then he tosses his cigarette behind him and the whole fucking place explodes. Thanks for coming on the show.
What were we even talking about? We were talking about Evander Kane?
We were talking about Evander Kane, and then D-Mac came on and gave us the vibe from Ball Arena. Okay. Which reminds me, though. So the same thing happened last Friday. That was the last time D-Mac came on. And so we're on this little website here, and there's like two red buttons. One is leave the stream. The other is end stream.
End the stream. Hit
and
the
he
leave
keeps hitting
button.
end stream. So we're going to have to text him next time and be like, because I don't even know if we could talk to him live on air because his internet might not work. So if we can interact with him, I'm going to say, D-Mac, hit the right button this time. But that was the last time he was on with us. We didn't do a show immediately after on MLK Day on Monday.
That is correct.
He didn't come on the Ducks game the other night, I don't think.
That is correct.
So, bro, two straight Fridays. One, D-Mac comes on our show and then fucks shit up. Two, the Avs lose 7-3. Three, a player, shout out to Adrian for pointing this one out, Guffy Chan on Twitter. Last Friday, Ryan O'Reilly hat trick. This Friday, Owen Tippett hat trick.
Son of a gun. He's part of the conspiracy.
Last Friday, Nashville Predators. This Friday, tonight, Philadelphia Flyers. Both versus the Avalanche. Who are the three franchises Peter Forsberg has played for?
Holy smokes.
Avs, Flyers, Preds.
That is wild.
What happened that weekend? Last weekend, Broncos won.
Okay.
Is this what had to happen?
You know what? If we have to sacrifice half of our broadcast for the Broncos to have a chance on Sunday with a backup quarterback, so be it. So be it. I will take that.
Man.
I'll handle that. We'll hang out for another 7 or 8 minutes with you guys.
5 to 10 minutes. We're back.
Finish your Evander Kane thought, Mark.
It's actually a good fit. I was literally just about to wrap up. It's actually a good fit. Don't you think?
I think it's a good fit if it fits in the room, right? And if you can get some salary retention from Vancouver and it doesn't cost you a lot of money. I do think there are better forwards out there that do similar things that you could get who are younger and more productive. I'm not paying 5.1 for Evander Kane, and I don't want to give up. Is he going to cost a second rounder? I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I really want to give up a second rounder.
Again, final year of his deal, $5.125 million. Much easier for a team to eat salary when it's just the rest of this year. What the hell do the Vancouver Canucks care? Hell, the Vancouver Canucks could end up eating all of that salary. What do they care? As long as they don't care. A decent return.
That's all that Vancouver is looking for are picks and prospects right now. And the Avs don't have a lot of either. So you do have to be very cognizant of what picks and what players you're moving because, bottom six beefy forward dick to play against forward is not the only thing you need. You also need bottom pair defensemen on the left side. Does Carson Soucy do anything for me is the question. I could handle a 6'5", 215-pound left-handed shot Carson Soucy. I could do that.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize he was that big. That's
Very lanky. I wouldn't call him big. He's long. He's
that's a
long.
name. That's a name. But Evander Kane does, like him or not, he's had some real moments in this league and has that fuck you. I mean, he's playing on Vancouver's top line right now. Now, Vancouver's shit. Fire sale there. But, if that big skilled MFer is on your third line, and Chad pointing out Ross Colton was out tonight. Do we know Raj, do you know lower body day to day? Okay, there we go. Lower body day to day with Ross Colton. But still, if your third line is, I would say, the way things are shaping up and that there's going to be an arms race, I would say all said and done, your fourth line is probably going to look like Jack Drury. I would say that's probably what they want. They probably want to upgrade 3C, and I think Drury's played well. But man, if Drury's your 4 seed with Parker Kelly on the wing on your fourth line, and then O'Connor, if he's there, I don't even know if he's going to be there. Kiviranta, third line of Colton, Kane, and Mystery Trade Center X. Kane and Colton is your third line wings. Okay, I can do that.
I could handle that. I mean, he's not the player he once was, but he did have 12 points. He had 6 goals and 6 assists in 21 playoff games last year. He hasn't had any power play goals because, well, he's been an Edmonton Oiler for those past, 4 seasons in the playoffs, and he's not getting any power play time on that unit. But he could see it here. Like, I could see him doing that. I could see him being a fit. It just, what's it going to take to get Evander Kane?
I don't think that, the bidding war will be that high. I don't. Because of his reputation and his advanced age and just a rental. I don't think it's going to be uber cheap, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I think he goes for less than Kiefer Sherwood. Let me put it to you that way.
All right, so Kiefer Sherwood went for 2 seconds.
If you got to do one, if it's Lars Zeller 2.0, my man Lars getting brought up a lot this year, which was 1 second. Okay. I mean, it's a pretty cheap price compared to, because look, the higher quality player you're talking now, how expensive are we talking? Look, I'd love to get Artemi Panarin, or Nazem Kadri, but those are going to be very expensive.
I don't think Panarin fits. Panarin's not a fit, man.
Panarin's a fit if you just want to say, fuck you, look at our lineup. Like, look at that on paper.
Like another right-handed shot. Another right-handed wing who doesn't do anything defensively. And that Artemi Panarin does not play defense anymore. And he hardly did even when he was in Chicago.
Look, one of my favorite things about Evander Kane is the left-handed shot. That's actually probably my favorite, with the size and and a little skill. But that left-handed shot, if he was a righty, I'd say fuck no. But because he's a lefty, I'm actually kind of interested.
The Avs don't have a first this year, a second, or a third. They have a first next year in 2027. They have 2 second-round picks. They have Colorado's second and Minnesota's second-round pick in 2027. They have 2 fourths this year, 3 fifths this year, and 4 seventh-round picks. I don't know. Could you package a couple of sevenths and get a sixth, or 3 sevenths and get a fifth, and then you package 3 fifths to get a fourth? I don't know. Typically that's a draft day type of maneuvering, not in season. I don't know. Panarin's not it for me. I don't want. I love Artemi Panarin, but he's not it.
And even at retained salary, there's multiple years left. And the same with Nas. And you got to pay Kale. So, and because of the win, they're in a win now. This season is win right this season. So rentals are okay when you're in that mode of, we cannot let this, and it comes off. Kane's not they usually extend these guys. Kane wouldn't be a guy you extend.
Correct.
Kane is a mercenary. Come in here and improve our third line.
Joe doesn't really like that. I mean, the swings that Joe has made on mercenaries have largely been complete misses. the guys that he trades for with a mind to keep long term are the ones that have been good. The Arturi Lekkonens, the Josh Mansons, the Nazem Kadris of the world, right? And I know you lose him after the cup run, but you traded for Nazem Kadri for a longer period of time. Those guys typically do well. You have to think back to, like, even in the early days, like the Mikkel Boddicker trade, he was a mercenary. He sucked.
Yeah, for his
Sean
speed, I
Walker,
forgot about him.
mercenary, wasn't anything for you, right? Most of these guys that Joe Sakic has traded for in his career that are one and done players haven't done anything for you. The question, why isn't Keaton Middleton getting any time this year? Because he's not fast enough to play in the NHL. It's very, like, he doesn't
Isn't
have
he
the foot
on the
speed.
Sen- I thought I learned isn't he on the Senators?
No, you're thinking of who's the other big beefy guy who
Oh,
can't
Curtis
skate?
McDermott.
You're thinking of the other big
That's
dude
right.
who
I'm
can't
thinking of
skate.
McDermott.
Yeah. No,
Keaton Middleton.
He's not getting any time because he can't keep up at this level. It's like very clear that he can't do it. I love the guy.
I can't
he
keep
works
my
hard.
big O straight.
He can't keep up.
Yeah.
Not every 6'7" dude is a Deno Chara.
There's a reason that guy got off my radar because it's not a fit pace wise. Never once crossed my mind. You know what they need? Yeah. And look, so maybe it is somebody. It's probably
Soucy's good, dude. Soucy's a really good option.
Let me look at his contract because
Carson Soucy would be a super good fit.
Let's see here. 3 years, 9.75 million, 3.25 per.
That's fit. You can make that
UFA
fit easy
at the end of this year. Yeah, that's super cheap.
And that's cheap. And Chris Drury is begging to get rid of players. Really good comments here from Scorpio on YouTube. Should have put the 0-1 team out there.
Hey, maybe you should have. Ray Bork, that was fun to see. We don't see Ray Bork often. So it was interesting to see him tonight. Just so briefly with the Avs, but such a huge part of their history. And just feels like I haven't seen that man's face in years. So it was good to see him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. The vibes, this will be like the last few things I say about tonight. They sucked in the third period. It was atrocious. Hopefully it's a wake-up call, and I do think it will be a wake-up call going into the 4-game road trip that starts on Sunday morning against Toronto. It was fun here at Ball Arena. It was really cool. I had a sit-down Q&A with about 50 Avs fans that I emceed with Stefan Yell and Steven Reinprecht. And the vibe around those players is still through the roof. It's so very clear that this city is still locked into that team. And I hope that's the case with the 2022 team if they find a way to match that Stanley Cup with another one either this year or in the next couple of seasons as Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar are in their primes. The 96 team was the team that made me want to play hockey as a very, very young, like 4-year-old. The 2001 team was the team that made me fall in love with the game because I was old enough to know it. I had already been playing it, and those players connected with the city so much. It was such a difficult run for them. They lose Peter Forsberg to a ruptured spleen after a Game 7 win in the second round against the LA Kings. They have an incredibly hard-fought 5-game series against the St. Louis Blues, in which they have a heartbreaker in double overtime in Game 3 where Stefan Yell had it on his stick and he whiffed, and then St. Louis goes the other way and scores in overtime. And what does Stefan Yell do the very next game? Well, he scores an OT, and the Avs win that thing in 5. And then what happens? You have the New Jersey Devils, the best road team, one of the best defensive teams in the history of the game. You have to play a 7-game series against those dudes without one of the best players in the history of hockey, and you get it done with all of that pressure. Man, that team, again, there's a lot of similarities to that team and what this team should be this year. There's a lot of similarities. I think they can get it done, but they have to tweak, just like that Avs team tweaked, right? What's the big trade they made in February of 2001? The big trade. Do we remember what it is?
Rob Blake?
Rob freaking Blake. Now, there's not a Rob Blake on the trade deadline, but
there's also a salary cap nowadays.
Right. Right. There's a lot of things going into it, but they realized they needed one more big time piece on the blue line.
Well, that's Artemi Panarin, my friend.
Okay, sure. Like if it's Artemi Panarin for you.
Although, look, I mean, Rob Blake, that's a Norris guy right there, Yeah,
that's a Hall of Famer. There's not a Hall of Fame defenseman on the trade block. You mentioned
Panarin's defensive deficiencies, man. Should have traded for Quinn Hughes. Oh well.
They just need to tweak a little bit. There's a few.
Of course,
tweaks.
And they're going to. No, and then they were always going to, because Dallas is going to do something. Minnesota's not done. And it's going to be fascinating to see the moves they make. And if anyone, I think the most fascinating part will be, are they willing to part with anyone on their current roster? And I think that the two candidates, well, there's a few, but the main ones would be Gerard. Depends on the return, but I would have to put Ross Colton in there.
It's because of the money, yes.
And it's because of money and where you're at in the roster. And then I would say maybe like a Victor Olofsson. Depends. He's very cheap, so I don't even know if that money even would matter towards, making things add up in a trade or anything like that.
And he's an expiring contract.
Yeah, he's an expiring too. So really probably just Ross and Sam. Which is those could go either way.
I don't know. Could you pair Colton and a first for Panarin? I would do that. Like if you tell me that's the trade, sure. Why not? I would do that. But I also need a defenseman somewhere. Maybe the key, again, we talk about this 2001 Stanley Cup team all the time. Maybe the key is Joe Sakic calling up his old buddy Chris Drury and saying, trade both of your guys to me. We'll do one trade. We get Panarin and Soucy. You get Ross Colton, a first and a second. And then we go off into the sunset and win a cup. And you know what? We can't put your name on the Stanley Cup, but we'll find a way to etch it on the inside.
Look, in honor of the 0-1 team, Chris Drury, in honor of your nephew, Jack. Come on. No, you can't give up Jack. Those face-offs are, I was going to say we'll give you your nephew, but no. Those face-offs are actually
we want
too
Jack
valuable.
Drury here. Jack Drury
those
is
face-offs are way too valuable, and Jack Drury has shown he can do that. Oh, gosh, I had a thought. Oh, yeah, this is what it was. You got a couple trade deadline acquisitions coming in the not-too-distant future in Devon Toews and Gabriel Landeskog.
Very true.
Those are a couple of dudes, and they're out right now.
And it pushes Jack Ashawn out of the lineup, which helps.
Yeah, and
it pushes Victor Olofsson down
maybe,
into the bottom six, which helps.
Butterfly effect. Gerard's not even on the ice on that Michkov goal because Toews is eating 20-plus minutes a night. There's going to be more minutes distributed when a guy like Toews is out. That's just more ice time for, guys who otherwise wouldn't be out there in select moments. Look, those are really good players. And yes, the Avs are still really good without them, but
they're not as good. It's very clear that when the Blackwood injury, the Landeskog injury, and the Toews injury all started to happen.
Yeah.
What have the Avs been since then? They've kind of been a 500 hockey team. Before that, they were unbeatable. So yeah, those dudes make a difference, and health makes a difference. I still think at that point, even though they were being dominant and those dudes were healthy, I still think at that point I was like, I could make a tweak here and a tweak there, and they're the same tweaks I want to make. Third line center or bottom six beefy fuck you guy, and kind of the same feel on the left side for the defense.
Oh yeah, no. The moves still apply. Even with Landeskog and Toews back, there's still moves to be made. There's still this is the real deal. They're going to try to make this as good as humanly possible. But it goes to show it's a parity league, and the difference can be two players. You can have, look at how, man, for years, Edmonton, McDavid, Draisaitl, but how's the team? And then they started to get the team a little better and make a couple cup finals. You know, you can have McKinnon and McCarr, but how's the team? And two players, two veteran leaders, high skill, takes a 7-game homestand that quite honestly should have been like 4-1-1 or 4-0-2 at worst, 3-2-2. So 3-2-2. It's a winning homestand, but it should have been better.
I think Bednar did say it perfectly. He goes, if we win this game tonight, I love the homestand, or I like it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, the fact that we lost, I go, because of, not I go, he says, because we lost, I look back on this, and because of how good we are, I go, it simply was not good enough. And I agree with him, man. They're gonna.
You know what's crazy is they opened the homestand winning like 8-2 and 4-0.
Yeah, crushed them.
And then ever since, like then Toronto comes in and gives them a good effort, and it was a slog the rest of the way.
When there's 6 games left before the Olympic break, win 4 of 6 going into the break, then I'll be happy.
I think on this road trip here coming up, because this is a tricky one, I think you really are looking at 500 to win. You know, Dallas won last night against St.
Dallas
Louis.
won tonight and Minnesota won last night.
Okay, but Dallas had just lost 1-0 in Columbus the other night. So, you know, I mean, look, you got Dallas losing 1-0 in Columbus. You're still 10 points ahead of them. Okay, at Toronto, at Ottawa, at Montreal, at Detroit. That's tough.
3 of the 4 teams are very difficult. Ottawa should be an easy game. The other
Ottawa would be better if they weren't, you know, banging everybody.
Jesus. You could just leave that one on the table, couldn't you? It'll be fun.
You know,
man.
Dude, I completely forgot about the Connor Bedard jokes, but I hung on to that for like a good 3 weeks.
I'm proud of you, dude. Between that and the Tiparuski for a Michkov goal was so good. All right, man. There's like nobody left in Ball Arena here, and I've got a long drive home. I'm ready to go to sleep. I apologize that D-Max shut off our stream. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again, guys, the next time he jumps on live from Ball Arena. So we're going to nip that in the bud. Next time that we'll talk to you guys. You know what, Spring? Guys, we're not going to have a Between the Pipes on Sunday. So
I was going to ask about that.
I apologize. The Avalanche game ends midway through the first quarter of the AFC Championship game. And to that, I say, go Broncos. So the next time that Spring and I will talk to you will be after the Avs' second game on this road trip, which is just, 2 days after that? It is 3 days after that. It'll be Wednesday evening against Ottawa. We're just simply not going to have the bandwidth to handle that. I got to get off network and we got to go watch the Broncos game.
For some, it could be fun, but I think we all want to be as locked in as possible to the biggest Broncos game in 10 years.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. So no Between the Pipes this weekend. We'll be back on Wednesday night. Sound good, people? We love you. Spring, I'm out of here. Avs get hammered, but they'll bounce back against Toronto because what are Toronto? They're built to lose. See you guys on Wednesday.